Welcome to Traveling Kangaroo, your go-to channel for exploring the world's most pressing and fascinating stories. Today we're diving into a critical topic that affects not only Europe but the entire globe. Europe has long been a beacon of economic prosperity and political stability. Nations like Germany, France, and Italy have been pillars of the European Union, shaping global politics and economics for decades. But behind the scenes, serious challenges are brewing. Challenges that could threaten the very existence of some of these nations. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 European countries that experts warn could face collapse soon. From economic slowdowns and political turmoil to demographic crises and social unrest, these issues paint a worrying picture for the future of Europe. Stick with us as we break down each country's unique struggles and what could happen if these problems go unresolved. Starting at number 10, Germany, the powerhouse of Europe, is showing signs of economic stagnation and political uncertainty. Once known as the engine of Europe, Germany is now grappling with a declining industrial base, especially in manufacturing and automotive sectors. The energy crisis, triggered by shutting down nuclear plants and dependence on Russian gas, has pushed energy prices sky high, weakening industrial competitiveness. Germany's aging workforce and low birth rates threaten productivity, while, rising inflation hits middle and lower income families hard, which really slows domestic consumption. Politically, Chancellor Olaf Scholz's fragmented coalition struggles to pass effective policies, and far-right parties like Alternative für Deutschland are gaining traction amid growing social unrest. Uncontrolled migration has also led to cultural clashes, strained public services, and increased crime concerns. If these trends continue, Germany's future looks, well, pretty precarious. At number 9 is France, a country experiencing deep economic woes and social unrest. Despite reforms, unemployment remains stubbornly high, especially among young people. France's national debt has soared past 110% of GDP, making it one of Europe's most indebted nations. Industries are moving abroad due to high taxes and regulations, and, honestly, that's just further harming the economy. Politically, President Macron faces widespread criticism as both far-left and far-right movements gain momentum. Violent protests like the Yellow Vest movement reveal deep social divisions fueled by ethnic tensions and integration failures in immigrant communities. Rising crime rates and terrorist threats add to France's instability. Without major changes, France risks slipping into deeper turmoil. Italy ranks number 8 with its persistent debt crisis and government dysfunction. With a debt-to-GDP ratio over 140%, Italy struggles under unsustainable public spending and a fragile banking system weighed down by bad loans. Politically, Italy is notorious for frequent government changes, 60 since World War II, and rampant corruption which stifles investment. Demographically, Italy faces a declining population with low birth rates and an aging citizenry. The so-called brain drain of young professionals seeking opportunities abroad, well, it further weakens Italy's future workforce. Italy's economic decline, combined with ongoing political dysfunction, really paints a pretty bleak outlook for the country. Number 7 on our list is Poland, which, was once celebrated as an Eastern European success story, but now faces some significant risks. Political polarization between conservative and liberal factions threatens the country's democratic institutions. The ruling Law and Justice Party's controversial judicial reforms and nationalist rhetoric have actually alienated parts of the population and strained relations with the European Union. Economically, Poland is struggling with rising inflation and a heavy reliance on European Union funds, which, honestly, may be at risk because of ongoing disputes. Demographic challenges, like a declining birth rate and emigration, are creating labor shortages, and energy security remains a concern, since there's dependence on Russian supplies amid the Ukraine conflict, which also raises national security tensions. At number 6 is Ukraine, a country devastated by war since Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. The ongoing conflict has destroyed infrastructure, displaced millions, and crippled the economy. Ukraine's GDP has plummeted, making recovery difficult without continued Western support. Corruption hampers rebuilding efforts while political instability grows amid dissatisfaction with governance. If military and economic aid from the West fades, Ukraine could spiral into chaos with serious repercussions for regional stability. Spain holds the number 5 spot, facing economic challenges despite being one of Europe's fastest-growing economies in recent years. Youth unemployment hovers around 30%, prompting many young Spaniards to emigrate in search of better opportunities. Public debt stands at approximately 110% of GDP, limiting government investments in social services. Political instability is fueled by the unresolved Catalonia independence movement, which, really fractures national unity. Corruption scandals and coalition instability prevent effective long-term planning. Social tensions rise as protests over economic hardships grow, alongside increased immigration pressures and nationalist sentiments. Number 4 is Greece, a nation still reeling from the 2008 to 2010 financial crisis. Despite multiple EU bailouts and austerity measures, Greece remains trapped in economic hardship, with a debt-to-GDP ratio exceeding 170%. The cycle of borrowing and repayment just continues without sustainable growth prospects. Brain drain intensifies as Greece's best talent leaves for better opportunities abroad. Birth rates have collapsed, worsening an aging population crisis that, honestly, strains pensions and healthcare systems. Political paralysis and corruption breed public distrust, while tensions with Turkey over maritime borders and refugee flows threaten security. Hungary lands at number 3 with its controversial illiberal government under Prime Minister Viktor Orban. The country faces soaring inflation near 20%, energy supply disruptions from the Ukraine war, and currency devaluation. Foreign investment is waning amid concerns about corruption and judicial independence. Orban's centralization of power has cracked down on media freedom and political opposition, but it's also alienated many citizens, especially younger generations who are emigrating in search of better lives. Hungary's anti-immigration stance isolates it within the European Union, raising doubts about its future stability. At number 2 is the Netherlands, a country often admired for its liberal values, but now confronting some serious challenges. The housing crisis has made affordable living almost impossible due to skyrocketing rents and home prices amidst supply shortages. Economic pressures like inflation, declining wages, and rising energy costs strain everyday life. Political fragmentation worsens as populist parties gain ground. Prime Minister Mark Rutte resigned in 2023 over disputes related to immigration policy. Integration issues have led to rising crime and social tensions in major cities, fueling nationalist movements. Finally, at number 1 is the United Kingdom, a nation on the brink after years of turmoil exacerbated by Brexit. Post-Brexit challenges include supply chain disruptions, declining foreign investment, rising inflation, and a shrinking economy compared to pre-Brexit levels. Political upheaval has seen multiple prime ministers come and go amid divisions within both major parties. National fragmentation looms as Scotland pushes for independence, while Northern Ireland faces renewed calls for reunification over Brexit border complications. Social unrest grows with widespread protests and strikes over underfunded public services, all this happening amid rising inequality and soaring energy costs. The future of these European countries, well, it really hangs in the balance. Economic instability, political fragmentation, demographic shifts, and social tensions threaten not just individual nations, but honestly, the entire continent's cohesion. Will these countries find solutions in time? Or will pressures mount until collapse becomes, inevitable? Thank you for watching this deep dive into Europe's most pressing challenges here on Traveling Kangaroo. If you found this video insightful, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Follow Traveling Kangaroo on social media for more updates and discussions. And don't forget to visit travelingkangaroo.com for exclusive content and travel insights from around the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring with Traveling Kangaroo.